This is how we are going to see the bombing of Tokyo, which took place on the night of March 9, 1945. Since most Japanese homes were made of wood and cloth, napalm was ideal for laying waste to large urban areas. The bombs in which the napalm is put are designed to explode between 3 and 5 seconds after reaching the ground, which ensures that the explosion with the napalm will occur inside the house and not on the roof. Finally, the temperature reached by this incendiary gel is up to 1000 degrees almost instantly, causing everything in its path to melt and disintegrate. Approximately, each B-29 bomber was capable of loading and dropping some 1,520 napalm bombs. With hardly any radar, no planes, ammunition, bomb shelters, and with most of the houses made of wood, Japanese civilians were soon going to know what hell was. During the afternoon of March 9, 1945, as the Battle of Iwo Jima was drawing to a close, a fleet of 335 B-29 bombers took off from the Mariana Islands headed for Tokyo. In order to transport more bombs, part of the aircraft's weapons and crew members who were not strictly necessary were removed. In total, the load of napalm bombs that these planes carried to drop on Tokyo is estimated to be between 450,000 and 500,000. Because there were no Japanese fighters defending Tokyo at the time, the bombers dropped to an altitude of 2,000 meters and began dropping their bombs just after a few minutes after midnight. The Japanese warning sirens did not start sounding until 7 minutes after the first bomb fell, which was gradually followed by more than 1,600 tons of napalm bombs, which had already begun to devour Tokyo. The shelling had started to the south of the city, and due to the strong wind blowing in a northerly direction, the fire began to spread across much of Tokyo. Because during the shelling the bombs had fallen over a widely scattered area, many people were unable to escape, and died after being engulfed in flames. The bomb shelters proved useless because they were not prepared for that type of napalm attack, and most of the people who were somewhere underground were still burned or suffocated to death. The concrete buildings were of no use either, since the high temperatures outside that far exceeded 1,000 degrees, and made the interior of said buildings turn into ovens. Finally, when the sun rose on the morning of March 10th, the survivors were able to see the result of this monstrous bombardment. 25 square kilometers of the city had been completely leveled, and everywhere were charred and unrecognizable bodies. Women, men, and children died by the thousands alike. It is estimated that some 100,000 Japanese lost their lives during that early morning of March 10th, although there are those who raise this figure to more than 150,000 victims. In addition, 1 million people were left homeless. Regardless of whether the figure is the highest or the lowest, the casualties of this bombing exceed those that occurred in Hiroshima or Nagasaki, and also any bombing in Germany.